So with the new Planet Coaster 2 game coming out, I thought it'd be really fun and cool to round off my journey in Planet Coaster 1 with a few really cool projects that I've been wanting to focus on for quite some time now. And I thought, well, this is probably the perfect time to do it since Planet Coaster 2 is coming out in, I think, a few months now, so that's exciting. But one of those projects was an Intamin Prefab Woody, which, if you don't know, the Intamin prefabricated roller coasters, there's not many of them in the world. There's a few, and I mean, you can count them. I don't know their names and everything. One of which is El Toro at Great Adventure, and it is an insane looking coaster. I have not yet gotten the pleasure to ride it, but one of the things that makes these coasters, these Intamin prefabs, so great is just the shaping of everything. Everything is shaped so tightly, and the trains can handle a bunch of forces, so they put a bunch of forces on the track, and it just makes the ride really, really intense. Imagine like the most intense roller coaster or wooden roller coaster that you can think of, and that's basically an Intamin prefabricated coaster. Another notable Intamin prefab is T-Express, which is in North Korea, Asia. The cool thing about this one, it is a terrain wooden coaster. So it's got the Intamin prefab feel, but it's also a terrain coaster, and that's exactly what I wanted to do with this. As you can see here, I wanted to feature a sort of boss element from St. Louis, Missouri at Six Flags. The boss features, it's got the normal drop, right, and then it drops again a second airtime hill lower into the ground, which gives you your max speed. And this airtime hill down gives like some of the greatest airtime ever, and you just feel like you're falling. Like it's a completely different feeling just from the first drop, because you already have all the speed, but then you drop a second time into the terrain and you really can't see where you're going because of all the supports and terrain in the way. So you really just gotta hold on and put your hands up and just hope for the best. Like, hope the mechanics are really good at their job of upkeeping the track, which they are if it's open. But that's what I wanted to focus on with this roller coaster, is an insane layout plus terrain and just all this cool stuff going on. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm focusing on messing with the terrain, getting a bunch of airtime and everything like that. If you have been paying attention to the channel, you'll know that there hasn't been a lot of stuff recently. It's been quite quiet on my channel, and the reason is because of school has started back up and life has just gotten really busy. Also, I just lacked any motivation for working on any sort of roller coaster project in Planet Coaster. I mean, it was a while. I mean, I think it had been a month since I've opened Planet Coaster. I'm just getting to the sense to where I'm kind of getting dead again, and it probably happens 3 times every year where I don't work on any projects for a month. So it's just something of the norm. Your brain kind of just shuts down. You're like, I do not want to build another roller coaster. But it's practice makes perfect, right? So of course I got to it, and I've also hit a bunch of other projects that I've been wanting to work on as well. One of which is the Time Traveler recreation, which is also going to be out here. The video is going to be out pretty soon, as in maybe like the next 2 weeks. That will be actually a finished project, so that's pretty cool to see. It's one of the best coasters I've actually made, because it's a recreation. It's like 6 foot off from the original. I'm really proud of it, and yeah, it's coming together. Another one video that I'm releasing that is taking some time is actually apart from roller coaster design and making altogether. It actually just has to do with the aspects of a lift hill, so it's more of a mechanical video explaining every single part and piece of how a lift hill, more specifically a chain lift, works. And I went really in detail. Like, I had to go look up ride mechanic video, people who are actually ride mechanics, to watch this video. So it's gonna be a really cool video, so stay tuned for that. I do not know when that's gonna drop. I still have a lot of work to do, but it's turning out to be a really cool video. So yeah, I've been focusing a lot on editing and less on actually doing Planet Coaster content, which is great, because that means 1 week I'm going to drop like 50 videos, which is funny. But it's a lot of content, and I'm really excited for the future of my channel. So what I'm doing here is right there, what I just did was one of the 3 90-degree bank turns that this roller coaster has. And that might actually draw some peak interest because it might remind you of Voyage, which is not an Intamin prefab roller coaster, but it is a wooden roller coaster, and it does feature 90-degree bank turns. And I thought, well, why not throw one of those or 3 of those in on this layout as well, just to make it, if we are making an insane wooden roller coaster here, why not throw 3 of those in? And that's exactly what I did. I thought it fits pretty good, and it's not out of the question. It seems like something Intamin maybe might do in the future if they ever build one of these, which, Intamin, if you are listening, build more of these. Like, the world needs more of these wooden coasters. Yeah, they're hard to maintain and stuff like that, but they look incredible, and they're some of the best rides ever. Some people consider El Toro or T-Express like the best roller coasters in the entire world. So they're not bad roller coasters, and I don't think they ever will be. So Intamin, make more of these because we love them, or at least us enthusiasts do. I think the general public is like, oh, wooden roller coasters, they're rough. I don't really think the general public likes wooden roller coasters all that much. I mean, one of the most notable ones is Outlaw Run. They call it rough, and it's like, dude, this is not a rough roller coaster. This is like, go ride any other wooden roller coaster, and it's just, you'll be like, okay, that's the smoothest thing I've ever been on. But yeah, I think the general public is just like, yeah, no, they're pretty rough. Compared to a steel coaster, yeah, it feels completely different because you're riding on wood rather than steel. So, anyways, back to the layout. I wanted to throw in as many airtime elements as I possibly can. Some of them being a little over -1 Gs, so it gives a lot of strong airtime, maybe possibly a bit unrealistic. I don't know. I think when I smoothed it out, it all fixed it all, but you know, this is why we have roller coaster games, so we can push past the little idea of realism and all that, but at the same time keep it somewhat realistic. When I am building layouts, you'll see I actually mention a lot of this in my videos. I always build brake runs before I get to them. So like halfway after I've done half the layout, I'll always go and build the brake run just to see like, okay, where is this layout going to end up? Where do I want the direction to come from? It just gives a quick little idea of, you know, how I want to build the layout towards this brake run. So if you are like struggling with how to connect or something, maybe just build the brake run first. Like, it's one of the first things you build. It actually helps me miles. Like, it's one of the most simple things ever, but you just do it first and it's like, oh, I guess I can just do this element, this element, this element, and then we're done. So yeah, here's also another one of those 90-degree bank turns. I actually missed one of the earlier ones. I think that was the 3rd one, but that's okay. So yeah, there's 3 of them now, and they're really cool elements because you get just forced into your seat while you're freaking 90 degrees, like horizontal with the ground, which is really cool. Another cool element that I wanted to add was actually a triple down underground. Again, basing it off of the Voyage at Holiday World. I wanted to have a really, really cool ending that kind of just packs a punch. And to turn the ride around, I thought, let's put some laterals on this ride. So I actually just pulled up and did a 180-degree right turn that's unbanked, which means all you're getting is laterals. So I think you almost get close to 1 lateral G, which is actually a lot of lateral Gs because you start at, I think, lateral Gs start at 0 Gs rather than 1 G. So you've got 1 lateral G on your body during this turn, which is kind of crazy. It's not quite 1 G. I think it's like 0.8 or something, but I just rounded up, whatever. And then, of course, like I said, you hit the double down, which gives some crazy ejector airtime, and that was basically the end of the ride. So that is it. Here are some cinematics, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Stay tuned on my channel. You'll be able to see a lot more content coming, and I will catch you later.